Hi guys, I'm Brea and I'm so excited because we are doing my birthday book shopping vlog. When you guys see this, I think it actually will be my birthday, February 16th. And every year I decide to take a day where I get to go book shopping, get new books, get hardcovers. I just have an unlimited budget. I can do what I want. Usually I go to Barnes & Noble and Half Price Books, but this year I decided to do something a little different and go to some independent bookstores. There is a neighborhood in the Dallas-Fort Worth area called Bishop Arts, and there are like 4 or 5 different independently owned bookstores in the area, and I've been to a few, but I've never really bought anything from them, so I'm like, might as well use my hard-earned money to support some independent bookstores. And so I will be going to 4 bookstores today and just kind of walking around, enjoying the weather. It is actually really beautiful outside today. I'm super excited to shop some of these stores and take you guys along with me.
So many questions that I wanna ask, but I can find the reasons why. You always find a small excuse to leave. What's your excuse to make me cry? My love was lost when you came and took it all. My mind says stop, but my heart is screaming out. Don't go, just leave, no stay with me. I'm incomplete. I got mixed emotions, can't make my mind up. Just leave, no stay with me. I'm incomplete. I got mixed emotions, can't make my mind up. How can I love you when you're not around? How can I let you let me down, down, down? How can I long for you feeling so small?
Okay, so just left Who's Books and I'm walking to the next bookstore, and I absolutely love that bookstore. The owners are so friendly with everybody. They've read most of the books in there and they give amazing recommendations. Like if they see you looking at something, they're like, oh, here's a fun fact about the author. This book is amazing. Here's some other stuff that they've written. And I overheard one of the owners saying that they like handpick all of the books that go in there because they try to focus on diverse authors, diverse characters, and it is clearly reflected in the bookstore. And I feel like this is one that I will continue to come back to. And I feel like if I just ever owned a bookstore, that's exactly what I want it to be. They also hold some events, like apparently Daniel Black was in there last week, which I would have loved to know, but now I know I'm gonna go follow them on Instagram and follow all of their events. I think there's also going to be some type of like book crawl, or they're doing an event with Blush Bookstore, which is where we're going next, at the end of April. So I definitely want to partake in that. So I got 2 books out of that bookstore, which I'll show you guys later, but we're off to Blush now.
Everything or not at all. My love was lost when you came and took it all. My mind says stop, but my heart is screaming out. Don't go, just leave, no stay with me. lost your tongue somewhere, don't know what to say. Stop and run around, oh, you act like a kid. I am not your mama, just admit what you did. I got enough to do, then hang around and wait for you to grow up and be responsible. It's my heart, so I hold you accountable, accountable. So grow up. It's cheating season for God knows reason. Stop making up excuses when I simply don't care. Why don't you just move on? We ain't going nowhere. I got enough to do, then hang around and wait for you. I said I got enough to do, then sit around and wait for you to grow up, yeah, and be responsible. It's my heart, yeah, so I hold you accountable, accountable. So grow up, yeah, yeah, and be responsible, and be responsible. It's my heart, so I hold you accountable, accountable. So grow up and be responsible, yeah. I got enough to do, then hang around and wait for you. So grow up, baby, yeah, and be responsible, be responsible.
Okay, so the romance bookstore, I was a little disappointed in their selection. I had heard that they had some more indie books, which they probably did, but I was kind of disappointed by the lack of diversity in there. I saw a few Kennedy Ryan books, but that was really it. I was hoping to see some more like indie or black authors represented, or even other authors of color, things like that. So I didn't end up getting anything out of there. Oh, but then Wild Detectives, I loved that place. I got a like cherry latte, which was really good, and I ended up finding a book out of there, so I'll show you guys that. And that was another bookstore where it's just like, wow, I'm seeing people live my dream.
Hold you accountable, so grow up and be responsible, be responsible. It's my heart, so I hold you.
Okay, it's many hours later, but I'm back home. I had just like a full day of adventure. I actually got a new ear piercing right there, but wanted to go over all of the books that I got. I only got 4 things. So the first bookshop I went to was Who's Books, and I ended up getting 2 books from there. And as I mentioned before, literally probably one of my favorite bookstores I've ever been in. The owners are fantastic. They know so much about the books and the selection. Chef's kiss. So the first thing I got was Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Shauna McGuire. So I believe this is the second book in the Wayward Children series. So I read the first one probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I've always been meaning to continue on in the series because I did really like it, and sometimes I always just need like a short book as like a palate cleanser. And so I saw this on the shelves and I was like, might as well. And then the second book I got from Who's Books was The Trees by Percival Everett. So I read James earlier in 2024. I didn't love it, but I did really like the writing style, and I think this subject matter, because it does follow some like murder investigations and all of that, I think it may just be something I enjoy a bit more, and I've heard amazing things about it. So when I saw this, I was like, yep. And then the second bookstore I went to was Blush, which was the new romance bookstore, and I just didn't really see anything in there. I was thinking about getting the Kennedy Ryan book before I let go, but I already own it on audio and I own it on my Kindle. So I was thinking about getting the sequel because I feel like I'm going to like the first one, but they didn't have the sequel in there. I was also hoping there was going to be some other just like lesser known authors in there, or authors of color in there, and unfortunately I didn't really see any. It wasn't a big store, so I will give them that, but nothing that I saw that captured my fancy. And then the third bookstore I went to was Wild Detectives, which was a bookstore bar. Ooh, loved that place too. There's a nice like outdoor area. Everybody in there was kind of doing work. It was just a really good vibe, and they actually had a really good selection of books too. Like I saw a few things in there that I had heard of, that I had already read, that I like really enjoyed. And I also feel like they had a diverse selection of books as well. But I'm so happy I found this one because I low-key went into this experience with a list, but I didn't know if I was going to be able to find them at these bookstores because the selection is always kind of hit or miss. But I found this one at Wild Detectives, and that is Sky Full of Elephants by Sibo Campbell. And this is one that I actually am going to be reading in a vlog here in a couple of weeks. And so I'm really glad that I was able to find this at an independent bookstore. And this is a sci-fi where one day people wake up and there's no more white people on Earth, and we follow a man and his daughter who is mixed race, and how her experience is differing from his in this new world. And so I've heard phenomenal things about this one, and it's definitely a 5-star prediction for me. So happy I got this. And then the last bookstore I went to was the Poets Bookshop. Also very cute, very quaint in there. I don't know, just like the feeling of like an independent and like small bookstore just like really does something for my soul. And so I just really had a good time today. But the book I got out of there was The Ministry of Time. And this was one that was also on my list that I was hoping to find today. And I'm so happy that I got it. And when I was checking out, the cashier was actually reading this book. He seemed to kind of have some mixed feelings about it, and it looked like he was about halfway through, but based on what I've heard about this, I think that I'll enjoy it. And I know this is a sci-fi that's like a little slice of life that I think is in space, but also has a little bit of mystery element in there. So I'm really intrigued about this one. Everybody I've seen that's read it has enjoyed it, aside from the cashier today. And I know that this was the Goodreads Choice Award winner for sci-fi. So again, I'm glad I was able to pick that up. And so overall, not a crazy book haul, but if you watched my last video where I was redoing my bookshelves of all the unread books I had, I made sure to rein it in a little bit. And these are all books that I feel like I'm going to get to this year. And so, like I said, I just really had a fantastic time today. One of my life goals is to open up a bookstore bar. And so seeing these people live out my dream makes it feel like it's doable, you know? And the fact that there's 4 bookstores in walking distance also made me just feel very optimistic, because I think in my head, I was like, well, you know, I can't open up a bookstore next to another bookstore. And it's like, why not? Because they all did, and they were all very different. And every bookstore I went into, there were plenty of people. And I really think that actually them being so close is actually benefiting them, because people are starting to do a bookstore crawl because you can walk to all of them, which I just thought is phenomenal and it's amazing. And if you're ever in the DFW area, please go check out any of the bookstores that I mentioned today. Or if you don't have any local bookstores in your area, I will list the bookstores below. And if you want to support them on Libro, please feel free to do that as well. And I really love that you guys spent my birthday with me today as we did a little book shopping, as I feel inspired about my dream of opening up a bookstore one day. And if you made it to the end of this video, leave some type of birthday emoji for my birthday, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.